My name's Adam Corbin, and been going to tribe since the beginning. Well, I would say I've been a Christian my whole life. Only child, two loving parents. Always, went to church. I grew up in a Lutheran church, so I don't know. I was a average kid. Went to school and graduated high school. Just like I said, I went to church on Sundays. It was a thing to do. I memorized stuff. It was traditional. I was baptized when I was a baby. Did confirmation when I got a little older, but never really lived my life for Jesus. Just didn't think about it. And out of high school, just got into working. Went to college, got an associate's degree. Started my bachelor's, but then I just let my focus drift. I was going after money, chasing money. I would say I hung around the wrong crowd. A group of us went into a grocery store one night and just they started taking a few things here and there, and I joined in with them, and we all got away with it and just had a good time. However, I went back on my own a few times after that. And then one night, I got caught by the people who worked there. Thankfully, they were nice to let me go, gave me a second chance. But unfortunately, that didn't really stop me in the long run. I was working at Blockbuster Video. I had become an assistant manager there, and I got desperate for money. Situation happened at work. I was, closing by myself one night. Some extra money showed up, and without deciding why it was there, I pocketed it. Did that one more time. Ended up getting arrested. Went to jail, all that stuff. Got probation. Went through all that. However, when I was on probation, I got another job. It was a sales job. I went door to door selling things. Got myself into trouble again for some reason. I forged somebody's check to buy off my own stuff, and obviously got caught again. I ended up having to do 6 months house arrest. And then after all that was over with, 2+ years of probation. And Chrissy, as I'm sure most of you know, my wife, at the time we were, dating, and she stuck with me 100% through all of it. She was my rock. But I was depressed. I was not a good person. Had a lot of anger issues, a lot of them toward Chrissy. I treated her really bad a lot. Just had a lot of guilt, a lot of shame. And also during all this, my mom had Parkinson's. Me and my mom were best friends. My parents we had a good relationship all around, but me and my mom were close. Suddenly one day, my dad let me know that she was had something going on with her mouth. Her cheek was all swollen up, and discovered she had an abscess in her glands. They had to do surgery to keep the infection from spreading to her body. But then after all that wore off and she went through her surgery and she was starting a recovery phase, she didn't show signs of Parkinson's. And there was starting to be some questions about whether it was a misdiagnosis, and they were having the neurologist going to be looking at her, and things were looking like we were starting to have some hope, and she was going to kind of out of the woods type feel. Me and Chrissy went and saw her one night. It was a Monday night. My dad was there, and she was, pretty lively. She couldn't talk still. Like I was trying to read lips and just try to communicate the best I could with her. But it was a good night, and I said goodbye to her. And next day at work, I get a phone call that she took a turn for the worse and passed away in the ambulance. Obviously, was devastated and crushed, and was just, but something happened on that drive. I felt a peace come over me, and God gave me a strength I never had before. Throughout the whole process, the funeral and everything, that God changed me. I felt it. I was just somebody that I wasn't before, and I had a strength. I was able to handle it. I just knew that she was okay. that's where I really felt like I really turned my life around and really got into really finding out about who Jesus was, and really getting more involved in church. And then a year later, on Mother's Day, at our previous church, I decided to get baptized by immersion. I think just the biggest thing is God's taking away that guilt and shame from me, and it's turned me into from being a thief to being a giver. Fun fact is that my entire life, child, teen, adult, always been a big Transformers fan. Like, Transformers has been like my thing. And God transformed me. My favorite verse is Romans 12:2. Do not be conformed, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind.